everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Karpman trauma triangle. This is a requested video. It was requested by Rosa's Resources, so big shout out to Rosa. She has been such a huge supporter of the channel. She's given me several video ideas, so I'd like to say thank you, and please check her out on Facebook, Rosa's Resources. When she first told me about the Karpman drama triangle, I hadn't heard of it, but as I looked into it and did some research on it, I was really amazed, and I really think that learning about the Karpman drama triangle is going to help so many of us who are in these relationships, these narcissistic relationships, and we feel like we cannot get out. When you are in a relationship, a bad relationship, you feel like you are stuck on this endless roller coaster ride. You're up and down and you keep punching the ticket without wanting to. It just happens automatically. You feel like you cannot get out of this situation. People outside of the relationship will tell you, well, just leave or just stop being with this person or whatever. They'll make it sound so simple, oh, gee, why didn't I think of that? It's not like that. There are real reasons that you feel stuck in this relationship. People who are narcissists are manipulators. So you are in this endless cycle of hell. So Dr. Karpman came up with a visualization of it, and he has an upside down triangle. So if you picture the upside down triangle, and each point on the triangle is a role. So there's going to be, if we start at the upper left side, there's the rescuer or the savior. Then we have the right side, the persecutor or the bully. And then the point at the bottom is the victim. When you're in a relationship like this, you're going around and around this triangle, the two of you filling different roles, and you constantly have this dance going back and forth. This is why you feel like you cannot get out. You're in this loop. It feels endless. You feel helpless, and it's frustrating to people who are not in the relationship seeing you do this. There are so many times I have spoken to people, particularly my pastor. Now, he hasn't said this to me, but I'm sure I have frustrated him because he will give me good, solid advice, and I will say to him, I can't do that, or you don't understand, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. It's because I'm in this loop. He sees clearly, I don't. I don't know if any of you have ever seen on YouTube, I've seen this several times, you'll see babies who are deaf. Then they get a hearing aid, or they've had some surgery where now they're able to hear. So they test out the hearing for the first time. So you see this baby who was previously deaf, couldn't hear anything, sitting on the mother's lap, and then they start testing sound. And you see the baby, and it's really cute. The baby is reacting, it's startled, sometimes it cries, but it's hearing for the first time. It's a beautiful moment. You're witnessing this child's life change. This can be you. This can be me. When we recognize what's really going on, we can be like that deaf baby who now hears. It's life-changing. So I'm going to talk about what is going on, what Stephen Karpman's idea of what's going on in these high conflict, dramatic relationships, and ultimately how you can stop punching that ticket, how you can get off the ride for good. So each corner has a role. All right, so I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner, the rescuer, the savior. This is the classic codependent. This is the person that provides support even if they don't want to, who feels guilty and anxious if they don't rescue the person. They feel connected when the victim is dependent. A big problem for people who are the victims in these types of relationships is control. You're always trying to get control. You feel out of control. You feel like somebody else gets to decide if you're happy, if you're not happy. You're walking on eggshells because of somebody else. Somebody else's moods always dictate what's going on. Something that has been very frustrating to me, and I know this happens to everybody in these relationships. It's part of being in a relationship like this. It's part of recognizing that you really are deaf. You really are blind. You are not seeing reality. I was speaking to my pastor recently, And I said to him, because I think, I'll go to him and talk to him, and I want his advice. He gives such good advice. But I probably frustrate him. He hasn't said this to me, but I'm sure he feels this way because I don't always take his advice. I want to. I know what he's saying makes sense. I know he's right, but I feel like I can't do it. Like someone's tying me up and forcing me. I can't do it. It's easy for people outside to see what's going on, and people are so helpful and want to help you to see it. But until you recognize the real reality, you do have the strength. So recently my pastor asked me what my contact is with my husband. So we don't live together, but I do talk to him. And the reason I talk to him and I told him this is because I like to know what's going on with him, because I'm afraid of what's going to happen if I don't know, because he won't talk to me if I don't pursue him, if I don't initiate contact. Hardly ever. He does call me sometimes, but generally I'm the one that has to keep the contact going. I feel safer if I know what he's doing. If I don't know what he's doing, if we go weeks without talking, it frightens me because I don't know where he is, what he's doing, what he might be doing. And so my pastor was like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You need to initiate, you need to go to a lawyer, and you need to end this relationship. You need to have legal things placed on him. He needs to have a legal responsibility to give you money to do this or to do that. You can't just be trying to gain control on your own because it's fake control. You don't really have that control. So this is what happens in these types of relationships. You feel connected when the victim is dependent. When you feel like you have a measure of control, you feel better. But that isn't a relationship. That's you momentarily feeling safer. It doesn't mean that you are safe, right? If you have, if I have a security system on my home, that can give me an illusion of safety. But the reality is, if somebody broke into my home, the police are going to take minutes to get here. This person's already in the house. So, that's what's really happening. You think you're safe, but you really are not. So when you are in that role, the rescuer role, you feel safer. You feel like you're doing something good, but it's all a mirage. So you move over to the right, the persecutor, the bully. So here's the narcissist. The bully, the persecutor, nothing is their fault. The person is controlling, blaming, critical, oppressive, angry, authoritarian, rigid, superior. They take the role of the dictator. They tell you what to do. Then there's the victim. So at the bottom is the victim. This is the helpless person, right? Poor me. The victim feels oppressed, hopeless, powerlessness, ashamed, unable to solve problems, make decisions, take pleasure in life, or achieve insight. So these are the three roles. Now, very often it is the codependent person that is going to be in the rescuer in victim stage. You're going to be there going back and forth. The narcissist can go through all three. So you'll have the narcissist can be the persecutor or the bully when they feel like they're in charge. They could also be the victim, because remember, for a narcissist, nothing is ever their fault. Things happen to them. They're never responsible for it. Or they could be the rescuer. They're giving you the silent treatment, and now they've decided to let you breathe again. You're allowed to have contact with the narcissist. So now they're the rescuer. So you are likely going back and forth between the rescuer and victim. The narcissist is going through all three. You're not going to be in the same role at the same time. So sometimes you are the victim, and then the narcissist is the persecutor or the bully. Other times, you're the rescuer and the narcissist is the victim. So you're in this endless loop around and around, and you feel like your head is spinning, like you cannot get off. But this really is all a mirage. It's all an illusion. You can get off at any time. If you stay in this endless loop going around this triangle, you are never going to be free. You're just going to go back and forth and play different roles. That is no life for somebody who wants to have a satisfying, happy life. A narcissist is going to endlessly stay in this loop. They can't help it. This is who they are. You can get off. The way that you get off, all right, the way that you escape it is that you recognize exactly what is going on and you step off. You need to recognize what is happening and you need to put a stop to it. And I'm not saying it's easy, but this is what you do. Take ownership of your feelings. Do not let yourself be a victim, even though realistically, if you are with a narcissist, you are being victimized. But if you accept being a victim, you're never going to free yourself. You have to accept your roles. Don't see yourself as a victim. See yourself as somebody who can get free. All right, this person, this bully, this persecutor is trying to victimize me. They're trying to make me feel bad about myself. I have the ability to feel bad or not feel bad. Nobody else controls my emotions. I control my emotions. I control how I feel or how I don't feel. I refuse to be a victim. What do I need to do to make myself happy? Because it sounds like a cliche. I know that it does. And I understand you're going to say, yeah, but other people can make me feel happy. Yes, but the truth is, true happiness comes from inside. True happiness comes from feeling good about yourself despite what anybody else says. Yes, other people can absolutely influence your happiness. Yes, but taking ownership of your own happiness is your responsibility. You need to not let anybody else control you. You don't tell me if I can be happy or not. You don't tell me if I'm a good person or not. I live with myself. I have my own relationship with God. I will decide if I'm a good person or anything else about myself. Nobody else has a right to tell you anything. They don't live as you. You live as you. You have your own life independent of anybody else. It's your responsibility. Never be a victim. If you are a victim, you lower yourself. You demote yourself. You don't achieve things that you could achieve if you allow yourself to be a victim. And I understand this is much easier said than done. But realistically, if you want to get off, these are the hard truths you have to accept. Refuse to play any of these roles. If you're being, manipulated, if somebody wants you to play the victim, if somebody wants you to be the rescuer, you have to have the strength to say no. Don't fall for it. Take ownership of yourself. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, the narcissist is a grown man, a grown woman. They can take care of themselves. They do not need anybody taking care of them. You're trying to take care of yourself. You're trying to take ownership of your own happiness, of your own life. Don't take somebody else's life on. That's their responsibility. They are an adult. They're not a little child. They need to take care of themselves. If they choose not to, if they blame you, tell you they're going to kill themselves or whatever they're going to do to try to get you to play a certain role, refuse to do it. I'm telling you right now, narcissists, when they tell you that they're going to kill themselves, they won't. Doesn't matter what they say. You need to have your own truth, your own life. It's the only way to break free. It's the only way to be that baby who is suddenly hearing. Now you hear things. You're going to see things the way that they really are. If you see things through the narcissist's eyes, you're going to see things through the eyes of somebody who is not 100% there emotionally, who is not a good person, somebody that will destroy you. That's the truth. No matter what they say, it doesn't matter. You have to hold on to your truth, how things really are. Call out behavior when you see it. Now, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. If you're with a narcissist who you think might physically harm you, well, yeah, don't tell them, don't call them out at that point. But in general, don't let somebody abuse you. If they're being a jerk, if they're manipulating you, call them out on it. You give them the power. This is the truth. They don't have any power that you don't give them. And believe me, every single thing that I'm saying, I'm not saying at all that it's easy. I'm not saying it's like these people who are outside of the relationship that are just telling you, well, just leave the relationship. So when I tell you, well, just take ownership of yourself or don't let them do this, I realize that's not as easy as just immediately doing it. But recognizing it is 80% of the battle. You're 80% there once you know these things and they are your truth and you can live this and you go towards this. You're walking towards your freedom, towards your new life. Enforce boundaries. Do not let this person dictate what you do and don't do. You have your own life. Think about, what do you want in your life? What is important to you? What type of woman, what type of man do you want to be? Be that person even when you're not them yet. You know, I do this all the time. It really is a version of dressing for the job that you want, not the job that you have. I try every day, and I don't always succeed, but I do try every day to be the person I want to be. What would this person do? And then do it. This is how you succeed in life. This is how you get the things that you want. If you wait until things are better, I mean, if you're waiting for a narcissist to change, you're never going to have the life that you want. Life is so short. It is so precious. You have more strength than you think you do. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you are in a relationship with a controlling, evil person. The strength that you have to put up with that is the strength that's going to free you. Remember, a narcissist never goes after somebody less than them. They never go after some weak person. They make you that way. But who you are before you met the narcissist is still who you are. You have to find that strength. I know it isn't easy, but this is how you will get out of this endless loop. Only winning move is not to play. I hope this video has helped you. I hope you recognize what I'm trying to say. If you're in this endless loop going around and around, it is not going to get better until you stop, until you refuse to play this game anymore. You can have a better life. It's out there for you. It's right there. You just have to reach out and take it. Yes, it might take time, or you might feel like, well, I just can't do this. Start heading towards the goal. You will never regret doing it, ever. You will only regret not doing it. At the end of the day, that really is the truth. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the video. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if all goes well, I will see you on Wednesday's video. God bless everybody.